Welcome to the Veach Cave mystery. Just recently, I came across a slightly strange, unusual comment within the community in regards to a particular piece of coverage within the mystery. It appeared as if someone was trying to impersonate or that they were speaking on behalf of SB Vega's Adventures, a fellow hiker explorer out there. If that was the case, the actual comment quote that was worded seemed a little bit unusual, bordering onto the strange behaviour of the supposed ex-girlfriend Sharon Pilgrim with things she said in the past when responding to people. Today I'm going to show you that comment, but a backstory is needed first of all, so you get an idea of the context of it and maybe why that comment was posted. So there is a channel out there called Odd Man Out, an individual that has done some coverage on the case looking for clues and hints along the way, whether that be the location of Kenny or the location of the mysterious cave. And recently a video was done, I was tagged within it, alongside SB Vega's Adventures and even Jeff Clark. The most interesting part is Jeff Clark reached out just recently and even he was confused as to why that video was made, why his maps was used, and even the comment as well down below. So for Jeff Clark to be confused by it and to find it odd, something must be going on, and I want to give you my thoughts and opinions today. As for the video though by Odd Man Out, it was almost like a response, an analysis from the Y Files, a big YouTube channel that decided to cover the mysterious disappearance of Kenny Veach and the Cave some time ago now, many months. Now the coverage that was done was reasonable, a range of research was done and people were credited, including myself. But of course, these channels do still fall short, they don't cover everything, and the Y Files failed to include the text messages, the screenshots, the emails, and even that final or that random phone call by Kenny's Facebook account towards the sister-in-law Susan Veach. That wasn't included. The bit about the CCTV footage was, but that's something else. You can always check that out on my channel. For those that are currently watching, if you are in this live premiere, welcome. Share your thoughts, opinions in the chat. If you want to catch up on the recent videos of mine, top right corner of the screen where the I symbol is, click that. You'll be able to catch up there. If you'd like to leave comments or you've got questions down below or have answers, feel free to leave your thoughts down below. You'll also find a pinned comment by me with some additional links if you want to support this channel. Of course, shout out to all the people in recent time that have supported this channel, such as the ones from the Dylan Rouse community. Right now though, we need to focus on the Kenny Veach case, because once again, another strange finding has come about, and some strange behaviour from some individuals out there. Let's head on over. Here is the description of the video by Odd Man Out, saying the latest Y Files episode is an unrelated video inadvertently connected an old Area 51 mystery to the Kenny Veach Cave mystery. Suspected and covered up secret projects starting in the mountain range across from Pitcher Canyon and possibly extending into the area Kenny Veach hiked. Did the Area 51 investigation and Google Earth video from 2013 draw attention and scrutiny to hikers in the Desert National Wildlife Range? Does this connect to son of an Area 51 technician and Lemmy Kilmister's warnings? And as you can see down below, I was tagged Jeff Clark and SB Vega's Adventures. Now SB didn't comment himself personally on that video, though he did on a newer one in relation to an MK finding by exploring abandoned mines in unusual places. SB was interested in that and considering doing an expedition out there sometime in the future, getting hold of those coordinates and recording. That is a completely different topic, but still with interest and intrigue, and some of you will know because I've done coverage and analysis of that supposed M-shaped cave by exploring abandoned mines, the one where the location was never given by him. We've had to try and find it ourselves. The mystery continues on there, but you never know what's around the corner. But focusing back onto here, Y Files episode, unrelated. Right, so this is more to do with the past, I'm guessing. Area 51 mystery, Kenny Veach, possible link there. I mean, we've seen all the articles about Area 51, that's where the cave is, that's not the case though. miles apart. Covered up secret projects. So I don't have all the screenshots or photos, but I've got the odd one which we can refer to in a second. So starting in the mountain range, going across from Pitcher Canyon and possibly extending into the area Kenny hiked. Right, so a few maps were used, which Jeff Clark did. Not this one on screen. If you go on Jeff Clark's channel, you'll see him yourself, and all those was marking out the different hikes done, I believe, from Sean Horlecker to Kenny Veach, etc., and maybe even Jeff Clark's own hikes out there, colour-coded as well. And that was just highlighting the area. As you see down there, Jomay Canyon, and where that circle is, might be wrong, but maybe where that circle is just where you come out of Pitcher Canyon. You got Sheep Peak up there. It's very hard to see, of course. You get an idea. Maybe Pitcher Canyon, and if not, just before that, I can see Wild Horse Pass as well. But, you know, what is going on here? I mean, when you start looking over that way, I believe that is the bombing range. Get rid of that. Yeah, over that way, that starts being military land. So if there are things built over there, structures and stuff in the mountains or on flat ground, well, probably by military. But in that Y files, they were saying how some guy in 2013, what was it called, Dave or something, was going on Google Earth and he found 18 different structures or white structures, objects, buildings, and some other bits and bobs along the way scattered around on the maps. Can't quite remember where they were all exactly, whether that be within Sheep Peak, Sheep Range, or further onto the military restricted land. That would make more sense. There are a few circles highlighted which could be to do with the structures or the symbols on the ground, almost forms a triangular format. The bombing range should be over that way, if I'm correct in saying. And I guess what was being put across in the video, or how it was portrayed by the Y files, is there some kind of secret tunnel that goes underneath the bombing range, and how long does it go on for? And I guess what Oddman Out is putting across here as a suggestion, correct me if I'm wrong, is there some kind of tunnel which will run from on to military land or near to military land, and it just happens to go near or within the Sheep Peak range and Little Jomay Canyon. And because that's an area where Kenny Veach was hiking in 2014, if there was already a mystery and coverage and acknowledgement that there are structures and mysterious buildings out there in 2013, was Kenny Veach influenced by it at all? Personally, I don't think so. Kenny Veach was just out there hiking, and then he came across a cave supposedly in the area, and he wasn't prepared and he wasn't expecting it. I mean, he's probably expecting to come across caves, but this particular one never been seen or experienced before, so he didn't quite know how to react to it. But, you know, even if Kenny Veach wasn't influenced by Area 51, I mean, I don't remember hearing any references made by Kenny. Even when he was on his hike, Kenny Veach didn't really make any references to Area 51 or too much in relation to military. I don't think he even really mentioned any of the bases nor Area 51. And I don't remember seeing any comments by him about, you know, anything to do with military or aliens. Even when Kenny Veach did comment on Son of an Area 51 Technician, the worker video, in which Kenny just simply announced what he found, what he came across, and it felt vibrations. But back then, Kenny didn't jump to conclusions like how people may nowadays. Kenny was just like, well, it was very strange, it was creepy, and I'm thinking of going back out there. And that was basically it. I wouldn't say Kenny Veach hyped it up too much compared to what other people could describe it as, right? I know us have come up with different theories and ideas as to what it could be, what it could link to. And some people could argue you're turning nothing into something when it's not, or it's a bit exaggerated. But when you've only got so many clues, you're trying to work it out, and Kenny didn't provide much either because of his footage lacking in coming across the cave. It's like us picking up the pieces as we go along, just trying to make sense of things. So Oddman Out doing his own investigations and research as the possibilities. Now, I personally did a video possibly suggesting was there some kind of tunnel which went in a certain direction. And I believe, I don't think this is marked at the mine shaft, but You can't quite see. It's just to the right of that red circle on the flatter, lighter coloured ground just before Wild Horse Pass where Kenny Veach's mine shaft is. I believe I did a marker from there diagonally so many miles into the distance, so that would have been probably northwest. I can't quite remember how far I actually did it or exactly as to why I did it. I think it might have been a viewer requested video because people were saying how the mine shaft Kenny Veach was standing near. That could have been some tunnels. If you go into the mine shaft, there are tunnel ways, and then that will lead you onto the M cave or a military base. So that's what I incorporated at the time. There wasn't enough proof or evidence. You had that default fake account impersonation of Really Robin that basically said that there were tunnels there and I'm going to go there myself and I'll show you, I'll prove it to you. But obviously he used a scapegoat excuse even before going out there by telling me, if you don't hear from me after, I've likely been silenced or taken out. Well, isn't that convenient, right? Coming up with excuses even before you've gone out there, probably because they never were going to go out there, but they thought they would just hype things up for no reason and create a bit more unnecessary mystery. Nevertheless, it's not really been reinforced or proven since. That kind of remains open-ended. But when we're looking at this here, as for the range and distance, okay, it does go on to the area where Kenny Veach was hiking, but it also starts going into restricted military land. And to be honest, if the military did have tunnels, access points, which went from military restricted land onto public open land, would they be that stupid to leave it open and accessible to anyone, even if it is in a remote, desolate area? I wonder. And after all these years, would any further action have been taken? I mean, let me know your thoughts to what you think about it. Do we have any other points? Yes, this is where the strange comment comes on in. This is from this video, right? This video. And it's by a guy called Homie. Says, SB Vega's Adventures, ... I'm glad you've made it this far. Keep the search going. What? What's that supposed to mean? Oddman Out responds, thanks, couldn't ignore the area and the time frame on this one. It's interesting, if nothing else. Are you referring to the time frame of the original map discovery of those objects in 2013 and how Kenny could have been influenced by it? Or that there was already activity out there, so when in 2014 Kenny went out there himself, he was a target. I mean, we have seen that military drone in 2019 flying over the area, which was very lucky to catch on camera. Doesn't directly correlate to the mystery, but it does link to military presence. And if they were watching Kenny at the time, who knows? But the reason why this comment is weird and why I've made this video, this random user called Homie. Have I ever seen this person before? Yes, just once. So Jeff Clark, I have come across this person once on my channel. I believe they're from the US because they've got videos of cars from the US and car meets, recording photos of cars because they're a car person, right, basically. But if I can remember, they were a bit of a toxic individual. I remember Homie complaining, being negative on my channel, not contributing to the channel, not contributing to the case, just complaining. Not much good from them. Bit of a waste of space, right? But this person now is commenting on Oddman Out, saying SB Vega's Adventures. So is Homie speaking on behalf of what SB Vega's Adventures has said somewhere else? Or is Homie trying to be SB Vega's Adventures, like some kind of fake imitation, impersonation? I want to know your thoughts. It looks like, but it's a quote from SB. If SB Vega's Adventures truly said, I'm glad you've made it this far, keep the search going, that would make SB look shady and suspicious. And from what I'm aware of, SB Vega's Adventures is a good person and they haven't caused trouble in the case. So I think this individual here is causing a bit of misdirection, confusion, and acting out a bit weird. And take in mind, even if this was said at some other point, it's out of context. There's no providence given. There's no backstory given. There's not even any quotation marks, but I'm assuming it's a quote or some kind of extract. You get what I'm saying? But, when you look at it without context, you read it as, I'm glad you've made it this far. Why? Made it this far? Why? Was it not expected for you to get this far? Was it because of obstacles, bad things that could happen to you along the way? I'm glad you've made it this far. That sounds like someone's playing mind games and trying to cause some kind of intrigue. Keep the search going. Now, no offense, odd man out. I don't think he's hiked in the area, or they have hiked in the area of Kenny Veach, because I've not seen any footage. They've done their own investigation and coverage, which is good to see, of course. But to say keep the search going, it seems like incorrect words. If you used to say that to a hiker that's actually been out there on multiple occasions, keep it up. Yeah, that makes sense. To just simply say keep it up, keep up the investigative work online, that would make sense there. But here, it's so out of context. So SB Vega's Adventures, let me know what's going on here. Have you seen this comment before? Do you know who this person is? Is it a bit random? A bit weird? Let me know.